Well, let's talk a little bit first about patterns. Okay, the patch and ribbon pattern that Marble King is famous for wasn't really perfected until late 54 or early 55.
Really?
And so you had
So five
3
years.
or 4 years there that St. Mary's was pumping out all kinds of things, but they finally settled on an actual pattern.
Okay.
One of the first ones is called a 6-panel marble, and a 6-panel would come either with oxblood or without. But on a 6-panel, you had the same color at each pole. In other words, you would have red and red in the case of this, and your ribbons would be blue, and it's divided into 6 different panels.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And you might have it, instead of oxblood, you would have another blue stripe there. So that was sort of the way they were heading. But then the decision was made to go to a real patch and ribbon type pattern. And this is what most people are familiar with. Now, patch and ribbon is defined as you have one color patch at the top and an opposite color patch, not the same color, at the bottom with alternating ribbons or stripes. In some cases, they meet at the seam, and in some cases, they either don't meet or they partially meet at the seam. But when you say patch and ribbon marble, that's what typically you think of. In late 50, sometime in 57, mid 57, late 57, the accent colors that St. Mary was using, they basically switched over for whatever reason. In other words, let's take, for example, a Cub Scout. You could have a Cub Scout with accent colors or oxblood, or you could have a Cub Scout that is just a standard patch and ribbon. So at St. Mary's, there were both made. At Paden City, they were all the accent things basically went away. Okay. So if you find a St. Mary's version that has accent colors, you know that was made in St. Mary's. But if you find one that doesn't have accent colors, you don't know where it was made. It could have been made at either location. So now, as far as accents, probably the most famous accent is oxblood. That is what St. Mary's oxblood looks like. It is not red, it's brown.
Oh, I see.
And this would have been made in a batch, and it would have been crushed up into much smaller pieces and put in a crucible. And the crucibles had, in many cases, divided cores. They're cylinders, and they would have had a very small section in there for the oxblood that would have been put in, and it would be used very sparingly as an accent color. Now, there is no proof that they never used oxblood at Paden City, but it's highly unlikely.
I see.
Because of the cost and what was really going on after the fire. They were really hurting when they moved to Paden City because they had all these orders they were trying to fill. They had tournament bags, hanger bags, all the stuff that was going on, and they were just struggling to keep up. And little things like accent colors really became much less important. One of the other ways that you can tell a St. Mary's marble, in addition to things like oxblood, that we know automatically that's a St. Mary's Girl Scout. You wouldn't necessarily know if it didn't have accents, but you'll see that St. Mary's, there were a lot of different color variations. Some of the earlier Girl Scouts would have had,
these would be considered Girl Scouts, huh?
Yeah, different.
They're tweaking, tweaking their colors.
They're still trying to get to what they decided on at Paden City, but variations in the green would tell you that that's a St. Mary's marble.
Okay.
When you see something that's kind of off like that. Now, on Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, and bumblebees, one of the other easy ways to tell that you have a St. Mary's marble is the accent color orange. They only use orange on, you can see faint lines. Yeah. Sometimes they just show as tracer lines that the orange was so faint you couldn't really see it very well, but it was an accent stripe. And anytime you see accent stripes of any color, then that's a St. Mary's marble. When you get into bumblebees, for example, the orange here, that tells you clearly that that's a St. Mary's marble.
Yeah.
And when you look at some of these that are different colors, you can see that's a different color. You can see that has more lines. You can see this is different, that has more colors in it.
Yeah.
But see, that has a faint tracer line.
Yes.
That was St. Mary's.
Okay.
Even though you can't see the color. So you can see a lot more testing and coming up with different things at St. Mary's, where when you got to the Paden City area, it was more standardized. Wow. Okay, some of the other accent colors that were used at St. Mary's can be seen in these marbles.
Okay.
Now, for example, this fruit stripe marble.
Oh, nice.
You can see the pale green was one of the accent colors that they used, and they used it on bumblebees. That's a tiger variation, for example. So anytime you see that accent color, that's a St. Mary's marble. Same thing with maroon. That's a tiger variation, but you can clearly see the maroon accent color. They used baby blue or powder blue as an accent color, which you can see.
Oh, that's beautiful
here.
Even. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
They used pink. You can see the pink there, and this is a very rare tiger 3/4 inch shooter with a pink stripe at the top.
Yeah, look at all there's several colors there.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
But pink is the real indicator that tells you that it's St. Mary's.
Oh, this is what we call the sunset, right?
Sunrise.
Sunrise.
Sunset is green with red.
Okay.
That would have been this bright pink would have been a color that Peltier would have helped Marble King develop. And you didn't see it used really much at all, if any. Well, you wouldn't have seen it at all at Paden City.
Oh, so that's
Paden City marbles. Also, electric orange.
Oh, yeah.
It's a real bright orange.
Pretty
as
obscure,
an accent,
you know?
And that can be seen on this marble as well.
Yeah. So we're looking at all St. Mary's variants.
Also
here.
purple.
Oh,
See the purple stripe there. That's an accent stripe. Pale green. They didn't just use orange. Sometimes they use pale green at St. Mary's as an accent color.
And this wouldn't be happening at Paden City?
No.
No.
No. So you can see the pale green color here and here as accent stripes. So those are some of the things, they're nuances. And when you get down to it, like a regular bumblebee with orange stripes, is it worth a whole lot more than one without it? Not really. It just tells you, however, that it was made at St. Mary's.
Yeah, it's a great way of separating.
Yeah, it is. These are Paden City tigers. And you'll see some slight variations in them. You might see one that's got more white, or maybe just I have seen what's called a Celtic tiger.
Celtic tiger.
That has a light green stripe with white. But that's basically what a tiger looks like from Paden City.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't just dream this pattern up and it happened. All the years at St. Mary's, with all the patterns, watermelons, Girl Scouts, I'll show you the difference. But basically, this just illustrates that these were all tiger-type patterns that existed at St. Mary's, that they were testing and trying different patterns before they actually settled in at Paden City on the standards.
So these have a lot more line work.
They have a lot more line work patterns. Basically, you can see like different color patch and just various things.
Yeah.
But the reason Paden City was so important is that Barry Pink was constantly pushing Roger Howdeshell each buyer season, come up with new things to show the buyers that will help them get excited about purchasing Marble King marbles.
Yeah.
So you had a lot of experimentation in early years at St. Mary's.
Going back to these three, right? These off-colored greens. So these would be experimental or tune-up colors?
No, they're experimental colors. Roger Hounshaw was a real stickler for detail.
Yeah.
And if he didn't like something, it goes to the dump. It didn't have to be anything wrong with it. And I mean, some of the great stuff has been dug out of dumps. It is totally great, but it wasn't what he was trying to make. He might have said, "That's too dark. I don't like it.
That's
Don't
all.
do it again," kind of thing. And,
Yeah.
but those are extremely valuable because they're so rare.
Yeah, they are such an unusual color combination.
It's really pretty stuff too.
Oh, that's the Jillian types.
Yeah, Jillian.
Now, were the Jillians did they run as a model for a long time, or were they sort of tests too?
Those were named after Jill Spencer,
Okay.
who owned the property. There's no way of knowing. There's nothing. See, the problem is, they were so secretive because they were competing heavily with Vitro that they didn't document a lot of stuff. And even what they would have documented burned up in the St. Mary's fire if it was there. So what we settled on, in many cases on certain patterns, is a St. Mary's version of a marble and a Paden City version of a marble. For example, this would be considered a St. Mary's Tiger shooter, 1-inch shooter. This would be considered a Paden City 1-inch Tiger shooter. And there are many variations of both of these, but this is if you say a St. Mary's 1-inch shooter Tiger, that's what most people would think of or would see, even though there are slight variations.
St. Mary's,
Paden City.
Okay. Right. Yeah, this is a lot more uncommon.
Absolutely.
This guy. Yeah, time.
That's a pretty high dollar marble. Some of the patterns have sort of settled out as a differentiation between using the name St. Mary's version, Paden City version.
Okay.
For example, this would be a very early St. Mary's ruby bee. Technically, this is called a Paden City ruby bee, but these have been dug at St. Mary's dumps as well, so that means that they would have been made both places.
Okay.
But from a name standpoint, this would be St. Mary's ruby bee. This would be Paden City ruby bee.
Okay.
And this came in different versions. You can see 3/4-inch shooters, 1-inch shooters. This is the only size I've ever seen of the
St. Mary's
ruby bee. It's a pretty marble.
Yeah.
Same thing here. These are peacocks.
Okay.
This is the Paden City peacock. It always has the teal patch at the top.
Yeah.
And it's mostly red colored. But this would be a St. Mary's peacock. You can see it's a very different color. It's more of an opaque base with yellow, red accents.
And just a little streak of the pink there?
I don't know if that's red or what that is. But same thing on bumblebee patches. This is a St. Mary's bumblebee patch.
Okay.
This is a Paden City bumblebee patch.
Is that transparent there?
It's white base.
Oh, it's white base. It's just skimmed over.
Yeah, you can see the amethyst color almost turns gray on some patterns where it's on white base.
Yeah.
But it's actually amethyst, which is purple.
And the gray bee is a different
gray bee is a very,
color, right?
very light variation of amethyst.
Oh, it's a light
over
amethyst.
white.
It's a different recipe.
It's just applied very thinly.
Oh, same.
That's why you don't see near as many gray bees as you do.
Okay, got that.
In a similar fashion, this is probably the most sought after marble by collectors, which would be the special watermelon with oxblood. Now, the special watermelon with oxblood was indeed a special run of the watermelon with yellow, and it always has oxblood. This is a special watermelon from Paden City. So you have St. Mary's, extremely valuable, probably one of the highest dollar marbles out there in mint condition.
Could you care to throw a number out?
I would take $1,000 for mine. I don't know. Would you?
At least $1,000.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's a high dollar
Good to
model.
know. Yeah, good to know.
This
Thank you
is
for
Paden
sharing.
City special watermelon. Colors are the same, but you'll notice that the details are a lot finer, the
Yeah.
tracing and those kind of things. Plus, it doesn't have oxblood.
Yeah.
But you can find these. I mean, these were made
A little more common.
10, 15 years ago, something like
Okay.
that. So, they're still available.
Okay.
These are available, but not very often.
Yeah, super scary.
They don't hit the market very much. Okay, on similar situation
Okay.
with watermelons.
Oh, right.
Recent years, a green base watermelon has come on the market, and it creates a red color that these two have a dark green base. This is one you were asking me about. So the colors look a lot like the old watermelons do, but it's actually just a green base. You can hold it up to the light, shine a light on it, and you can tell
I see.
these are green base watermelons, is what they would be called.
Transparent green base.
Yes, but they are Paden City, more recent. This
see.
is called a Ninja Turtle.
Oh, right.
And your Ninja Turtle is watermelon colors, but it has that stripe that looks like the turtle has a patch on his or a shell on the back.
A fully opaque marble there for
Exactly.
Ninja Turtle.
And in similar fashion, this would have been the St. Mary's version, which always has oxblood.
Okay.
And this would have been Paden City
Okay.
watermelon patches that were made at different times in Paden City.
Okay.
But you can see this has the oxblood.
Yeah.
This does not.
And we'll walk through a gallery of more modern Paden City Marble King examples using some colors that didn't appear in their older marbles. Some of these have acquired nicknames, and a few have become fairly sought after by collectors. These are some of the more notable examples spanning from the 1980s until the present day.
This would be a St. Mary's watermelon blend, not blended watermelon, but watermelon blend.
Okay.
You use the word blend after. A blended marble has very thin, tight lines, like a blended Girl Scout or a blended.
Show a few.
Yeah. One of the final things that would help you determine a St. Mary's marble versus Paden City would be the use of various clear or opaque glasses. For example, this is called a headlight marble.
Okay.
And it uses a clear window. It's a white base marble, but with clear window. When you shine a flashlight through it, it looks like a car headlight and shines straight through. And same thing here. You can see a slight clear window there and here. Yeah. Also, beer bottle glass was used, amber glass, for example. You can see examples here. And then this is a very rare copperhead pattern that has a total amber glass window in it.
Nice. And the beer glass is in there. I see it. Okay, so these would all be St. Mary's marble. St. Mary's.
All those things would tell you St. Mary's versus Paden City.
Terrific, Gerald. Thank you so much. Hey guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.